What's up everyone, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here with a full review for you in under 7 minutes of the new T-Mobile G2x. Let's get started. So this is the American cousin of the LG Optimus 2X, of course being LG built. The highlights from a spec standpoint, being powered by a dual-core Tegra 2 processor with 1 GHz power on each core, Android 2.2 relatively stock, 4-inch screen diagonal with a resolution of 480 by 800, 3D graphics hardware accelerator, 8 megapixel camera on the back capable of shooting 1080p, and a front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera. It's got 8 gigs of built-in storage and DLNA support. Those are the highlights. Alright, so let's talk about call quality. If the call quality is not going to be good, no matter what the phone can do or not do, it's not going to work out very well for you. So in my 20 call test, I had 2 drop calls, and I had 2 instances of callers not on the same call asking if I was on a cell phone. The rest of it was crystal clear and speakerphone quality was quite loud. This hasn't been the best T-Mobile phone I've tested, but it's certainly very usable as a phone. One qualm I did have with it is with the 4G radio. You notice right here I'm not pulling in 4G service, but with other T-Mobile 4G devices, for example the Sidekick 4G, I was able to pull in 4G no matter where I was. So if you are in a fringe 4G area, you're going to want to try this out before you buy, at least try it out in the store near you. If you are blanketed in 4G, you won't have any problem, but something to keep in mind. Alright, so let's talk about the screen. This is what you're going to be looking at when you do everything with the device, because it is a Slate's form factor. It's got a really nice viewing angle, which is one of the things that I noticed immediately about the device. Really anywhere you view it, you're going to be able to see the screen. Notice that there is a bit of direct sunlight glare, but you can still see what is on the display, which is quite nice for a big touchscreen like this. Build quality feels very nice. I was a bit dubious with some of LG's previous phones. This one feels really nice. One of the things that I like is that the battery actually comes very close to touching the back. So while this might be soft touch plastic with a little bit of a metal strip, that's not a kickstand by the way, it does have that nice solid feel to it because there isn't a gap between the back and the battery that would sort of make it feel hollow. It's got a really nice feel to it. It's not overly heavy, it's not too light, it's sort of that right happy medium for design. And it looks good. It's about what you'd expect from an Android Slate phone. If you were to think of one in your head, I'd have a screen, it'd have the buttons, and have a front-facing camera. And that's pretty much what you're going to have here. You are looking at almost 100% native Android 2.2 with no skin here. With very little skin and very little bundled apps, kind of makes you wonder why Gingerbread wasn't put on board. There are a few bundled T-Mobile applications here. You've got the App Pack, you have T-Mobile TV, Quick is pre-installed for using the front-facing camera, and you also have something really cool. You've got Tegra Zone. And the 2X here has NVIDIA's dual-core Tegra 2 chipset, but all the applications in Android market aren't optimized to take advantage of all the power. So NVIDIA's put out their own mini app store where you can get some really powerful NVIDIA games, or applications in general. So if you're going to pick up any NVIDIA Tegra 2 device, you definitely want to check out the NVIDIA Tegra Zone. Let's go ahead and jump back. The browser is excellent, about what you'd expect from a modern smartphone. It's quick, it's responsive. This does support Flash and supports it quite well. Pinch to zoom does work very nice. Oftentimes I found on sites that have Flash content, the pinch to zoom tends to get a little laggy. This is one instance where I think the Tegra 2 does a really nice job. There's no noticeable lag with Flash on or off with this device. It is very, very, very quick. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. I was not able to test the HDMI out, unfortunately, because I didn't have an HDMI out cord, but we'll presume that that will function quite well. One of my concerns with 4G devices is always battery life. And even with screen on pretty high brightness and using a live wallpaper, I was easily able to get through a full day of usage. I talked probably about 2.5 to 3 hours on the phone, actually 2 separate email accounts being checked about every 15 minutes, and a lot of internet browsing. It's actually one of the best uses of battery that I've seen, and it's only a 1500 milliamp hour pack in here, so pretty impressive with what LG has done. I like the DLNA support, so if you've got a DLNA capable device, you'll be able to stream all of your content wirelessly right from your phone, which is a really nice thing to have. The Quadrant score on this was extremely high, bringing in a score of 2,379. And this is a completely stock device. This hasn't been rooted or had any custom ROMs on it. This is just stock Android 2.2 that's put on a phone as you buy it, and the score, the Quadrant score of 2,379, is really very high. Overall, I've been very impressed with the G2x. It's a nice phone, it's a solid phone, it's got decent call quality, it brings in modern features in a very nice package. Does it differentiate itself from the rest of the Android pack? Probably not. Interestingly enough though, what makes this stand out to me is its lack of customization out of the box. I like stock Android, I like the way it looks. But one of the great things about Android is you can customize it. You don't have to work against the phone. So you don't have to try and get rid of modal blur. You don't have to try and hide HTC Sense if you're inclined. You can do what you want with this. If you want to put in tweaks from the marketplace, you've got the option to doing that. Put on your own apps, so you can make this look how you like without having to fight against a built-in skin, especially if you don't want to go the rooting way. So you guys, I can definitely recommend the G2x. It's going to be available on the 20th of April for $199. And if you are a T-Mobile customer looking for a really solid 4G device, assuming you are in a blanketed 4G area, you really need to look no further than the T-Mobile G2x. I'm Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you in the next video.